for this. So I'm going to hit the little record button. So we've got it. We've got some memories, if you will. So welcome to Motivational Manifestation Monday. We have a new person today. Charlene's with us today. Charlene's here in San Antonio. Tom is my friend from college, and he is in Atlanta. And Jen is here in San Antonio too. So let's.
And you can see
there,
Tom's breath because it's 34 degrees outside.
because he's got cabin fever, so he wanted to be outside. He's manifesting some warmth and sunshine in Atlanta.
I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting. I'll be ready to move when I get done with this.
I don't know if you remember, but I got on one other time, like when I was driving. It's been a while.
Yes, I do remember. I do now. But thanks for reminding me.
But anyways, I have to leave. I have to do my hair and go see a patient a little bit.
Well, it's only 30 minutes, if that, Charlene. So you hang in there, my friend. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I know that we have Susan in the wings, and Susan is probably driving to work today, which is what she does quite often. So that's why we don't see her. She's muted and has her camera off. So, but I see that she's with us today. So welcome everybody to Manifestation Motivational Monday. That's a mouthful still. And I started this as a summer thing and thought we would, finish up at the end of the summer, and we've just kind of kept it going. Melissa Burgell, who's one of our regulars, isn't able to be with us again this week because she's helping a friend with her mom who has dementia. And so she knows a little bit about that because both of her parents are in care right now because she can no longer take care of them at home. But anyway, so she sends her regards and says hello to everybody. So I thought we'd start off, excuse me, a little sip of water might be helpful. I thought we'd start off today talking a little bit about manifesting what we want, which is what we talk about every week, but some specifics about it because, or some more specifics about it. I was kind of inspired. So let me just say that when I noticed like that little inkling, that little encouragement to go and do something, if I don't go and do it and take action on it immediately, then it just keeps gnawing at me. And so I was inspired to go and grab Abraham Hicks's book. And I thought I was looking for Ask and You Will Receive. However, when I got to my bookshelf, the only book I found by them, which was pretty funny, was The Law of Attraction. So there's multiple Law of Attraction books out there, but this is the first one. This was the first time someone that I know of, well, I guess that's not absolutely true because Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill talks a little bit about how you would, about attracting what you want and setting goals. It has a little bit different, a very different approach than, say, Abraham Hicks does. Then my friend Michael Lozier wrote a book on the Law of Attraction, and that came after it came out about the same time The Secret came out, the movie The Secret. But this Law of Attraction by Abraham Hicks and Ask and It Is Given was written, both by Hicks, were written before ever the movie The Secret came out. So I'm just kind of giving you sort of a timeline. The thing is I wasn't sure which, I thought, well, surely I have the other book, right? Because I found the one that said Law of Attraction on it. And I thought, well, maybe that I was supposed to read the Ask and It Is Given, because that was the one I kept seeing the cover of in my head. And so I went looking for that on another bookshelf and found it, not in my office, but someplace else in the house. We have a number of bookshelves here. And I was like, well, which one am I supposed to read? And so I muscle tested to find out which one would be appropriate. And it said, read The Law of Attraction. Okay. So of course, I'm always looking for more content to help me manifest more actively and quickly in my life, as well as be able to share with you all. And so I started reading several chapters last night. And one of the things that kept coming up over and over and over again was getting into the emotion of what you're going to feel when you achieve your goal. And you know, I like to work on short-term goals because I like immediate validation, and it's important to me to know that something's in process and working. So, you know, when we worked on manifesting in the past, our flowers or owls or our dragonflies, you know, and our green cars or whatever it was, I like that quick validation that, oh, I'm on the right path. And the thing with this is that I kept taking away from what I was reading was that we need to be already in the emotion of it as if it's already happened. So, you know, Tom, I know that you're in real estate and you're selling homes, and you had on social media a really cute one the other day that I thought was, that home was adorable. If I didn't need I don't need a home in Atlanta. but the point is that imagining, I'm assuming that might have been your listing, and so it's like imagining having the perfect buyer who's already qualified, you know, as ready and in perfect alignment and excitement about, let's say, that house, right? Because you want to move, I'm sure you want to move any house, but the point is finding one that you think is would be a very good match for somebody, and holding the energy as if they're walking through it and going, wow, this place is perfect. This is what we want, right? And you get the feeling that you get that you help them find a home that's a perfect match for what they want, right? So, you know, with so the point is being in that excitement, imagining it, because you've done it before, you know what it feels like, right? So you know what it feels like to close, to be there at a closing, or to, you know, to get the call back from the other realtor that says they accept the offer, and, you know, that kind of thing. So it's like, find the piece you want to focus on and practice that. It sounds weird. Practice that emotion. But that emotion is what is putting out the vibration in your energy field to attract more of what you want, to attract more of those. Even if there's not anybody right in this very minute that is in the neighborhood of buying, you know, that house, it's like putting out that emotion actually magnetizes them to you. So what are your thoughts about that? How does that resonate with you? I mean, Tom, I used you as a good example, ouch, as an example. Does that make sense?
Oh, well, it makes sense. And I think also, if you're not in this industry, this industry is a huge roller coaster for both the agent and the buyer or seller, because you work and you find them a home like the one you saw, and we're under contract and we had our inspection and it's a new house. It's only 2 years old, and oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the stuff we found. And so we're now in the negotiating phase. We're having more inspections done and all that. So it's a huge emotional roller coaster one for me. It's my first closing of the year. I'm excited. You know, I've got great feelings for this year after the horrible year of last year. And so I'm on this emotional roller coaster of, oh, Jesus, gosh, please let this, please let this happen. You know, for me personally, for them, because it's the perfect house. They love it. So yeah, but I mean, I can understand, like I have a meeting tomorrow night with new clients. And yeah, I mean, it's like when you get on that going and whatever, yeah, it's just, yeah, then you're in a different frame of mind when you're meeting with that next customer, because you've got this going on and you're happy about that. So yeah,
Right.
I totally get that.
Exactly. And even if you didn't have somebody currently in process, right, in buying this house, you could remember a positive time when you did, right? And even if, you know, like that you've run into challenges, we'll call them challenges, or but ultimately it might be good for the buyer because they might come down on their price, the seller might come down on their prices, you know, to negotiate in the negotiations and so forth. Um, so my point is that sometimes things don't go from beginning to end smoothly and easily, that sometimes, you know, there are hiccups, as you've kind of described. And what you can do is we can string different things together, different buyers and sellers storylines together, to make it all smooth and positive in our made up memory, right? And feel the energy of that. So it doesn't matter whether it was absolutely perfect all the way through from point A to point B, you know, from viewing to closing, as long as you can string all that positive energy together, it doesn't matter. The universe goes, oh, that's what he wants more of. He's putting that out. Let's match that. So let's match it. And it draws people to you. So tomorrow when you meet with the new folks, then be in the energy of this positive, it's basically positive expectation, you know, and
Absolutely. Yep.
celebration. Yeah. So I
And
think that would work really well. So,
Cheryl, this is Susan calling from the car.
I see.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello, Susan from the
I-
car.
Hi, Tom. I love what you're saying, and I wanted to share a tidbit similar from a board meeting at work that I was at, and we often use kind of golf as an analogy in business. And one of the more macho guys at the table was proudly saying how, you know, whenever he's chipping up onto a green or trying to, you know, get on a green, he pictures like a 2-foot hole around the green, and that's where the ball lands. And I asked him, how often have you had a hole in one? And he looked at me like I had 3 heads, and I said, you have to aim for the pin.
There you go.
And it just goes to the clarity of the message. If you just want to get in that 2-foot rim, then that's what the universe hears. If the universe hears, I want it in the hole, that's a different message.
Very true. That's a great analogy. When I have played golf in the past and there's been a water hazard, I've always thought my ball's going in the water. So where do you think my ball goes? In the water. But that's
right.
what you're saying is not just the 2-foot rim around the cup, right? See the pin, want the ball to hit the pin. And I think the analogy is perfect. You know, that's a very good point. We want to be specific, you know, but it's not so specific that it's going to take 3 bounces, roll 2 feet, and then go and, you know, because there's a lot of ways.
Right.
It could just fly through the air, hit the pin, and fall into the cup. So, you know, it doesn't have to be in a certain order for it to all be positive and I'll be, what do I want to say, for it to have a positive outcome, right? So I think that's a great, thanks for sharing that, because I think that's a really good lesson. You know, more hole-in-ones probably will happen for that guy as long as he's looking for the pin, right? So Jen, how does this apply to your environment, your work environment, and things like that? This idea of focused energy and focused attention.
Well, I guess I'm going to go back to my my goal for last week that was having that feeling of accomplishment. And it was like I put it out there, and all of a sudden I had all these tasks that were, and most of them were quick, easy, get it done, get it done, get it done. And so I was like, okay, well, that's what I get for asking for that. So,
That wasn't punishment.
no, it wasn't.
If you think about it, every time you got one of those little things done, it may seem little, every time you got one of those things done, celebrate. There's your sense of accomplishment. Look at what I've done, you know, or look at the end of the day, look how many of the things on my task list I got done. And you can celebrate that right now, you know, and feel that sense of accomplishment. And what you might also be feeling is, wow, look at all the things that I didn't get done. Well, that's one way to focus. But if you choose to focus on the check marks, you know, or
yes,
you indicated I got that done, scratch through marks, then that's, you know, that's at a higher vibration than focusing on the things that you haven't gotten done yet. So
yes, no, I was giddy over it. I was excited. It actually spurred me to do some other things that were that I had been kind of putting off. And I just kind of like, oh, let's do this now. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Inspiration. Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. Well, thanks for sharing that, Jen. That's good. Congratulations on your accomplishment, on accomplishing your accomplishments. Charlene, how does this apply for you in your world?
Don't call me out.
Okay, that's okay. No worries. You don't have to contribute. No worries at all.
I'm just still learning, but I did Well, so I told you I did that Janning session yesterday, and so I've got a journal now that every week we're going to do that, and I've already crossed off at least one thing of my list that I wrote that I needed to do. I just need to drop them off at the post office now.
There you go. You're on your way.
Orders and samples.
You're on your way.
And I just need to start manifesting and getting in that. We talked about doing like writing it as a journal of now then after you've done your list, write like your week has already been over and it went well and all this stuff.
Right, absolutely. And that's just like I'm talking about being in the energy of it, right? So that's as if it's already manifested, and celebrate your success and talk about how much you love getting all that done, and it felt so good, and now you're ahead of the game, and now what's next? I'm looking forward to what's next. And it's what Abraham Hicks calls a rampage. I'm so grateful that I got all that done, and it was so easy, and I don't know why I was struggling with it, but it was so easy, and we're just getting it done, and it feels good, and I've enjoyed myself, and I met new people along the way, or whatever it may be, right? So we can focus on the things that draw energy away from us, or we can focus on the things that light us up. And when we practice focusing on and giving attention to the things that light us up, that means more things that light us up are coming our way. So it's just, the universe does not know the difference between what you want and what you don't want. You can say, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that. However, if you're saying, I don't want that, you're giving that attention.
Energy.
Right, and energy. And so it pulls it to you. So it's like one of the things I was thinking about and reading last night was, if you catch yourself in the if you will, the negative side of the equation, a negative thought, don't beat yourself up for saying, oh, you shouldn't have that negative thought. Go, no, just let go. Oh, wait a minute. Let me replace that with a more positive thought, a more positive feeling thought, not just the opposite, because the opposite doesn't always just bring you a positive feeling. So it may be, for instance, I'm looking into and planning to do some informational sessions, little pop-up trainings at my home. Well, that has brought up all kinds of limiting thoughts in my head about why that's not a good idea, when's a good time, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not going to share all that with you because I'm not wanting to activate that. So what I have done is I'm like, wow, think of, the experience that people are going to have when they come, and what they're going to walk away with. They'll have a better understanding, and they're going to love this stuff and want to know more. And so, it's kind of rampaging on the positive side. Even though I know I've got some limiting thoughts about those, I also know how to take care of those and neutralize those. But the point is that I don't always do that in that exact moment. And so I have to go, whoop. It's not just the opposite. Let's take it to the next level about how it's going to feel and what the experience will be, not only for them, but for me, because it's, ultimately we are all living in our own little microcosm of a world, right? And we are it's really about us and not about everybody else. And it doesn't mean to be selfish, but when we're paying attention to how we feel, that's selfless. So when we feel good, other people around us feel good. So when we feel good, we share that positive energy and other people feel good. So, sacrifice is not necessarily a really good thing. It's not a positive thing that we should do for a long period of time. So we've got to balance our positive energy and allow that to come through. So, all right. So, let's see.
Can I add something to that, Cheryl?
Yes, absolutely.
So Cheryl knows I've got a lot of balls in the air, and while I'm trying to simplify things and prioritize things, there are certain things that they're all important to me, and it's been a challenge to focus and get them done. And what I have started to do this year is focus on that law of attraction and collaboration, and find somebody who is like-minded and focused on the same thing. And whether we can just pick up the phone or do a Zoom or because often we can't meet face to face. We're like, yes, we want to get this done. It'll only take us 10 minutes and we could probably even have a glass of wine on the phone while we're doing it. Let's knock it out. And it has created such a positive energy shift in completing tasks quickly that have been like sitting there, because I've got an accountability partner with the same positive energy that let's just finish.
That's great. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, that accountability partner is super helpful. You know, well, in your case, you're doing it together, but sometimes it's just a matter of somebody else to hold the same energy as you're holding to get it done. And
Exactly.
those are fabulous times. You know, one of the things that is a key element to this 6-week program that I'm starting on Tuesday, the 30th. We've got this, it's called a 6-week law of attraction manifestation. What is it called? What is it called? Law of Attraction Manifestation Mastermind Group. It's kind of
You've
like
got to
that
work
law.
on your names.
I know, too many words. And I was doing alliteration and I was like, what does this mean? Yeah, law of attraction, 6-week manifestation motivation. Anyway, never mind. My point is accountability. So that whole idea when there is more than yourself holding the same energy to accomplish something. So in our group, we're going to hold the energy for each other on the things that we want to accomplish. So, you know, if Jen wants to, you know, find new clients or whatever, 3 new clients, let's say, or whatever, you know, whatever is fitting for you, then, you know, we're going to hold that same energy. And I'll be asking that person to, you know, describe what those clients look like, not physically necessarily, but what characteristics do they have, right? And in doing so, we're telling the universe, we don't want the flaky ones. We want the solid, the ones that are really committed, that are moving forward and so forth. So, you know, and then we'll hold it for each other and celebrate the success as it's coming to us. So that's what's so cool about this 6-week program is each of us will have a goal that we're going to manifest within that 6 weeks. So really, really, I'm excited because of that combined energy. And like Susan was talking about, the combined energy of others and accountability, you know, to move us forward kind of thing. So it's all good. It's all good. It's always working in our favor. Everything is always working in our favor. But the more that we can be conscious of what we're paying attention to and what we're giving energy to, the healthier and happier we're going to be. So, you know, okay. So let's quickly talk about what one thing you would like to manifest. It could be tangible. It could be a feeling. It could be purple butterflies. It could be anything you want. But what one thing would you like to manifest this week? And I would encourage you to try our temptation is to go to a task. I want to complete blah, blah, blah. And instead I would prefer for you to think about it in terms of, you know, what do you want to see as a result? I want to feel a sense of accomplishment for completing X, Y, and Z, or I want to feel, and it may not even be X, Y, and Z that you complete, that you feel an accomplishment about. But the point is you felt an accomplishment, or you does that make sense? You've created a feeling in yourself that you were responsible for, that you drew to you, kind of thing. So Tom, and then I'll go to Susan next.
Well, so I'm probably going to pick on something you just said a few minutes ago about focusing on things that light me up. And the reason I say that is my body is very smart and I don't listen to it, but it gives me very good signals. So like right now, for probably the past 2 weeks, I've been dealing with a very severe pain right in the middle of my stomach. And I know it is 210% nerves. I know that's exactly what causes it. It starts here and it literally goes out my back. I mean, I can feel it go out my back. I mean, it's kind of debilitating. And so I'm trying to stay out of my head and out of that place, frickin' frack over on the shelf kind of thing, and try and stay out of that. And this, and it happens because I'm focusing on negative things. I don't have stuff done on my website and this and that and whatever. So I want to focus on the things that light me up, you know, be it the customers, be it springtime in Serenity Pond, or, maybe planning a road trip this summer, etc. So I want to try to focus on those kind of things and try to light me up.
Great.
That's what I want to do.
Love it. So yes, I love that. Focus on the things that light you up. And then every time you feel your body light up, then celebrate it. Celebrate it. Like whatever. If you have to give yourself a high five or whatever, recognize it and celebrate it. Good. Stay in
And
it.
if you notice the patio heater ran out of fuel.
Is that what happened? I wonder.
Yeah. Yes. That's why we're inside now. It was a little too cold out there.
Too cold out there at 34
Yeah.
or 36 degrees, whatever it was. Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Susan, what are you going to focus on this week? What are you going to
This week I want to focus on clarity and ensuring that within that clarity and within that image of that manifestation, I'm creating positive energy to grow myself and my team.
Great. And I would only suggest to be more clear about the type of clarity you're looking for.
And you are very accurate in that statement. And I am aware that when I get frustrated, as you know, sometimes happens, that's what the universe is picking up on. And I need to just let go of that and focus on the positive and create that forward movement for everyone.
Very good. Very good. That sounds great. That sounds great. Because I know you're a great leader and they depend on you. So they need your clarity so they know what their clarity is.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, Charlene, what do you, I know you're fairly new to this group, but I'm going to call on you again. What are you focused on this week? What do you want to focus on? Remember, it's not a task, it's a feeling.
Okay, so you know personally what's going on with me.
I do.
I don't know how much I need to reveal about that, but
Nothing. You just need to talk about what you want to feel instead of what you've been feeling.
I want to feel rested.
Okay.
I want to feel energized. And I'm going to kind of feed off of Tom's. What he was saying about feeling that energy and what lights me up and concentrating on that instead of the negative, and
I like it.
and getting through as much of my I want to feel a sense of accomplishment with what all I have on my plate to do, and that everything goes smoothly this week and I get caught up on all my stuff. And
Okay, now you've gone to tasks.
okay,
Slow
but
down. You're doing great. I'm just going to readjust you a little bit or redirect you just a
Okay.
little bit. So you want to focus on feeling good, rested. You want a sense of accomplishment is what I heard. And there was, and doing the things that light you up. Right? And so I know I'll see you on Wednesday night at a networking event that will light you up. I know that's coming. So already project into Wednesday about how, and I don't know what your plans are between today and tomorrow, but it doesn't matter. But I want you to, if you don't have something that you think will light you up, I know that you'll do well and you'll light up there. So focus on that. And remember, don't worry about the to-dos. You're going to get those done.
okay.
Just focus on the positive of how you're feeling. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have a real great night, so I'm trying to get
You're good.
free.
That's okay. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jen, what are you focusing on this week?
So last week I was I just joined this new gym, and it's just a bunch of classes and everything, and but I don't even remember if I ever took bar before or not, but you're right there and you're in front of the mirror, and I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, and I was consistent the first 2 weeks, and then it fell off, and then I went back already in January going through that. But I had noticed already, even now I'm there and I'm dying. I don't know how you can just be dying with 3-pound weights, but it happens. But I'm looking at it and I'm noticing that even already, there's more muscle and I'm just sweating like a dog and it's fabulous and I'm loving it. And because it's heated too. So that's part of it. And that's supposed to be better for you. But I want that feeling. I love that feeling. And I've had it before where, I used to work out 5-6 days a week and, we would run on Sundays and there was this whole group and it was this whole thing. But, it was that just, your endorphins are always on
Mhm.
fire and you just feel like you can just, take on anything. And so I love that. And, even if it was just that 1 hour, and it's like, I want to be able to keep that because it's, you feel that and then you get home and, it lasts for a couple of hours and then the next day you still don't want to go back. You know?
Okay. So first of all, what part of San Antonio do you live in? And you're in San Antonio?
Uh-huh.
And what gym?
I'm going to True Fusion. They're at the Rim.
Okay. She's ready.
Okay.
She's
Because
It's
I need an accountability partner and I need to start working out.
it's fabulous. This place is amazing. They've got a lot of different classes. They've got the bar class, they've got a Pilates, they've got boxing, they've got circuit, and they've got like 4 or 5 different rooms. So they've got a spin room and they've got 2 different yoga rooms. And so it's not huge, but it's just awesome.
Well,
And
let me interrupt you. And if you guys want to share your information in the chat
yes,
with one another, and then at least have a phone call with one another to talk about that, then that would be terrific. But I don't want to, I don't, I want to keep us.
Sorry.
But no worries. It's okay.
That's on my actually list of things, that I really part of actually manifest. I really want to get in shape and lose weight and feel better.
Well, and see, the universe is already delivering to you something you did not even say here. And then Jen's got a possible resource. Possibly there's a place near you and you guys can talk. So put your stuff in the chat, talk to one another offline, and then at least learn more about it. And then maybe you can find exactly what you're looking for, Charlene. So that's
Actually, Cheryl, I kind of like it when this happens right here, because first of all, I'm like, I think that's cool that, they might be able to connect together. Then secondly, I'm like, I want to be in San Antonio now, so why don't you go too? So
we
I
can
like,
all
like
have
when
the
this
endorphins.
Tom,
I'm
go ahead, put your stuff in the chat too, Tom.
well, I might have a hard time coming to class. Okay, so
Okay, all right. But I want to, I wanted to say to Jen that, the feeling that you feel, you can recreate that, some semblance of it or a portion of it in your own mind by remembering the last time you went and how good you felt. And even though you may not feel like going today or tomorrow, if you'll stop and think and relive, like in your mind's eye, close your eyes and remember what it felt like, it will give you the motivation to get your tennis shoes on and get in the car to go there. So don't give up. I get where you're coming from. I totally understand. I'm in PT right now for my new knee, and let me tell you, he's training me like I'm a fitness person, like I'm some kind of athlete, and I'm like, dude, I've been an athlete in a bunch of years. But he's training me like I'm one and I'm still dying from sore muscles. But I totally get what you're saying. And I'm like, do I really have to go to PT today? But when I'm done, I feel good. So I get it. So focus on the energy that's created and the good feelings of accomplishment, of the endorphins that are being released, the motivation before you go, so that you're already up and in the process of having that before you get there. And I think it will help you get back on board. Okay. Great. Well, let's close out today, and thank you all for showing up. Stay motivated, stay manifesting, pay attention to all the good stuff that's happening in your life that's showing up. If you're starting to see negative things show up, stop and go, what have I been thinking about? Have I been thinking negative thoughts? Have I been thinking limiting thoughts, things that are, things never go my way. Well, no, that's just a story you've made up. It's not the truth. Things are always working in your favor, always working in your favor. So take your time, pay attention, make a list of all the goodness that's happened this last week. And and as things are happening this week, write it down someplace, even in your phone. It could be in one of your little note section, like, hey, I got all green lights, or I got an upfront parking space at the local grocery store, or yeah, I didn't have to wait 2 hours to see my doctor. It was 5 minutes, or whatever it may be. Those are all wins and all positive things. And they're happening to us and for us all the time. And we just sometimes forget to notice. So I'm calling those things into your attention so you'll notice how everything is working in your favor. So until next Monday, mwah, you guys have a great day and a great week, and I will see you then. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.